Hello students, Miss Lockhart here. It is time for us to paint our fired looms. So now that our clay loom has been fired, it is ready to be painted. Now you can use any paint you have available to you. You can even try using food coloring if you don't have any paint. I'll be using watercolor paint. You can even use markers if you'd like to color on with markers or crayons or oil pastels. So I'll be using watercolor paints and water and a paintbrush. Make sure you have a paper towel handy, and you'll be wanting to use a lot of water. I'll also be using a little bit of this red tempera paint, as you may do the same. You can mix paints, or you can just use tempera paint, or if you only have acrylic paint, you can use that. And you can create any kind of fun, colorful pattern or design around your loom. So I will start with watercolor paint, and make sure you have a lot of water on your brush because our fired clay pieces are very porous and they soak up water and other paint like a sponge. So you want to make sure you have a lot of water. You can see here I've dipped in my water cup 2, even almost 3 times, and I'll need to wake up that paint and stir it around, and then you'll see here I'm now applying it to the clay loom. So you'll repeat this process and add a lot of water to whatever color you've chosen, and you can create an interesting design that fits with the texture you've created on your loom. I'm choosing pink, and I'm going to paint this section pink. You can also go over it a few times, and don't forget the top edge and the inside edge of the circle on the inside. Go ahead and just have fun, be creative. Use whatever colors you would like with any kind of materials you have, and go ahead and finish coloring in all of the areas of the loom, the front surface and the top and the inside surfaces as well. And don't forget to use a lot of water, especially if you're using watercolor paints. Finished a second section using pink, and now I'm going to fill in the rest of the loom with pink, but I'm using more water. So now the pink color is lighter because there's more water diluting the color. You can choose your own techniques and your own colors, and you can make them as light or as dark as you would like. And now you can see I've decided to use yellow. I'm layering that on top of the light pink below it and creating a fun pattern. So once you put down watercolor, if you'd like to add tempera, or even after the watercolor dries, you can use markers or Sharpies and create more detail and create more pattern on the very top surface. You can see here I'm using red tempera paint and creating some really fun pattern. So I have finished the main loom. You may have little pendants that can hang below. You may not. If you do, let's make sure we go ahead and color them, and I'm going to make mine match. So I'm going to use the same color scheme and the same color family, those warm colors with watercolor paint, and I want to make sure to get the front surface and the side all the way around. And I'll be using a very similar color palette and color family, so I'll be using this pink, yellow, and then the red tempera paint. Remember, you can create your own design with your own colors and have fun. so now that all 3 of my pendants are covered in watercolor paint and all the surfaces are covered except for the back. You don't need the back to be colored in because you won't see it. You can if you'd like. But once your front surfaces are covered with paint, you can go ahead and add more detail with a different kind of paint like tempera paint, which is more opaque, or in other words, you can't see through it because it's darker, or you can use markers or a Sharpie. You can even try putting oil pastels on top as well, just to create a little more detail and have fun with it. After this step, you're going to need to set your pieces aside to dry. And next week, we'll finish our clay loom using yarn, and we'll create that beautiful woven design in the middle. So hold on to your artwork for next week so we can finish it then. Thanks for watching, everyone.